Good day everyone and welcome to an update today in which we're going to discuss my crypto portfolio when it comes to 2022 as we're approaching a new year and we're approaching most likely a new bullish move on the markets after we've just witnessed a 40% correction and even worse on most of those altcoins. But before we're going to continue, do not forget to subscribe beneath and like this YouTube update. Also do not forget to check out my Twitter and Instagram where I'm posting daily content when it comes to the markets, and 2022 is going to be even massive or even heavier when it comes to the content. So when we're looking at the actual price action of the current markets, or when we're looking at the actual size of the cryptocurrency market, we are definitely still very small, as the entire ecosystem right now for crypto, the entire valuation is just 2 trillion. And when we're looking back to the dot-com bubble, we were at 10 to 15 trillion back in the day. So that the entire dot-com bubble was still 5 to 7 times bigger or larger than the actual crypto bubble. And then the question comes, okay, so you're saying the dot-com bubble was there and we're going to have a crypto bubble. Will that mean that eventually all the prices will drop down heavily? Yes, definitely. Nothing goes up in a straight line. We are facing a potential, or I think not even potential, but we are facing a financial crisis, which is going to be relatively big. So you can still make a ton of money when it comes to investing in the cryptocurrency markets. And I think next year will still be fine. And we're definitely going to look at the entire crypto portfolio or the crypto markets after this introduction. But you should be aware that at some point in time you should be selling your positions, because the valuation of an asset can be undervalued in terms of price action but still be growing fundamentally. So you should be aware of that entire consensus. You should be aware of the fact that you should be selling your positions at some point in time, which perhaps you might have been doing already. So while we're looking at the entire cryptocurrency market right now, I'm building my portfolio towards 2022. And if you're a member of my group, and we've got 30% recurring discounts for gold members, which you can find beneath. If you're a member of my group, you know that we have been into USDT and Bitcoin with my trading portfolio in the past weeks. We have been de-risking because we were expecting ourselves to see a corrective move. This actually took place. But what is going to happen from here, and what am I doing from here? Well, when we're looking at my portfolio, and I think most of the portfolio should look like it, my portfolio consists of an investment part, but also of a trading part. The investment part is most of the assets that I just keep on cold wallets for the long term, which is approximately 80% of my entire portfolio. The trading portfolio is approximately 20%, and in that I try to make more money, which I can move towards the investment portfolio or to my bank account or towards other assets to de-risk myself or to just build my portfolio further. So I've got 2 portfolios in there, and those 2 are the ones that I'm working with. And with my investment portfolio, I've not been doing too much in the past weeks or past month, as that is a long-term horizon. A long-term horizon is not a few weeks, which might sound like a long term when you're in crypto, but it's multiple years. So in my investment portfolio, I've got Bitcoin and Ether, I've got some Polkadot, and I've got a staking portfolio, which I also include in the gold membership and in our platform. And that is also where I switch between certain assets that I want to stake. But the staking portfolio is definitely part of my investment portfolio, given the fact that I want to make a certain amount of passive income. The trading portfolio is the one that I want to switch between USDT and Bitcoin towards altcoins and such, in which I try to make money, in which I try to make an allocation towards a certain asset group that makes most sense. So what is my crypto portfolio for 2022 going to look like? Well, I still believe that most of your portfolio should be consisting of layer 1 and layer 2 protocols, as the entire Web 3.0 ecosystem will be built out of layer 1s and layer 2s. The first names you will probably be seeing in the comments are AVAX, or you will be seeing Solana, or you'll be seeing Phantom, but those have been running quite heavily. So it's quite difficult to assess a certain asset allocation into those when they have been seeing a massive year already. So what am I looking at personally to actually start building that layer 1 and layer 2 protocol basis? That is Atom. That is still one that is being developed. Price-wise has been seeing a crush south, but I think it's relatively undervalued at this point. Second, it's Polkadot. Also a layer 1 protocol, side chains as you know, but it's still very undervalued when it comes to the actual price action and the strength or layer 1s that we have been seeing. Ethereum should be into my trading portfolio as that might be becoming my base trading asset, as the goal is not to outperform Bitcoin, but the actual goal is to outperform Ether. Then HTR might be one that I'm looking at just simply because everyone is discussing it, and second, it might be a great chart to actually trade. Then finally, layer 2s can be Scale, can be Cedar. I've got those in my trading portfolio, and I think that's already a big coverage. We might be looking at Near, for instance, but that's a big coverage for those assets. Then second group is the group of DeFi, which has seen a terrible year when it comes to Ethereum DeFi, and that is exactly why I'm interested into buying those assets. So when you're looking at a percentage into that portfolio, I'm definitely looking at a big portion. And when I'm looking at those, I'm looking at Curve, I'm looking at Ivy, I'm looking at Kava, I'm looking at the Graph, but I'm also looking at Aave and Sushi, for instance, and I'm looking at oracles, which are Dia, Kylin, and Chainlink. And then the last category that I'm looking at this stage are still the older coins. They are downtrending at this point, but when we get a truly bullish cycle for the markets, they will definitely start pacing up with Bitcoin as they are still very undervalued. So in that case, you'll be looking at coins like Litecoin, but you might be looking at a run for XRP. You might be even looking at a run for XLM. Those charts will be breaking out at some point in time and just repeat what we have been seeing in the previous cycle. So definitely that's the third category that I'm looking at to buy in my crypto portfolio. And I think that is the crypto portfolio that I'm looking at for now to look at in Q1 and Q2. If you want to trade that portfolio with me, if you want to maximize your profits following my trading, definitely check out the membership in the description beneath, as we've got 30% recurring discount when you become a gold member. So let's look at a few of those charts in which we can discuss why I'm getting interested at this point. So let's head towards the charts. So when we're looking at the charts, the first thing that I wanted to bring up is the actual discussion that we have currently about the impact of a bearish divergence on the total market cap. In that case, I've brought up the entire Nasdaq run that we've had during 2000, which was the actual dot-com bubble, very comparable to what we might be witnessing when it comes to the cryptocurrency market. So in that case, I've brought this up, in which we can see that we've also had some beautiful bearish divergences in the actual price action of the Nasdaq back in the day. So in this case, we even had a bearish divergence in this price action here. This one was not valid because we just kept on making higher lows. We even started building a bigger bearish divergence, right? In which we were grinding even further upwards and we kept holding important levels for support. Then second, we've also got a bearish divergence in this price action and we kept going upwards as crucial levels were holding for support. So why I brought this up? Well, if we are looking at the entire total market cap for crypto at this stage, we might be concluding that we are having a bearish divergence here too, which would not be valid as long as we keep making ourselves higher lows, right? So we've got a higher low here at 1.85 trillion and currently we are trying to make ourselves a bigger or a higher low in which we're just sustaining above a crucial level of support, which is 1.96 trillion, and therefore that should be granting ourselves still as support in which we can continue moving and invalidate this entire bearish divergence that we might be getting. So in that case, it might look like a top bubble at this stage, but actually we are just at the beginning, or we're going to face ourselves a continuation of this entire run, which might even bring the entire crypto markets towards this region somewhere at the end of 2022 or somewhere in 2023. So that's why I'm building my portfolio at this point, but I'm building it with assets that have not been doing too great and that are currently relatively undervalued. So I wanted to look at a few. First one is Atom, which is currently showing strength in the price action, but has been seeing some cycles that are important to look at. So in this case, we've had a beautiful run at the beginning of 2021. We've had a harsh correction, which was leading or got towards a beautiful retest here for Atom. When we're looking at the current price action, we've had a beautiful run as well, and we've seen a very harsh corrective move, which results into a beautiful retest happening once again. So when we're getting towards the conclusion of this entire point, the chances are that we're going to face ourselves a new run towards the 1.618 extension. I actually have to use the candle here. Towards the 1.618 Fibonacci in the first run upwards, which might bring us towards $60. But if we use the entire move previously, which might bring us towards 67, or even the next one joining the $100 category when it comes to this one. The second coin that I want to discuss here is Curve, which is currently leading up towards a big breakout, given the fact that we've just been witnessing a beautiful retest here as well, right? We've been witnessing a beautiful retest after a big run already, and we're constantly making higher lows, higher highs, which might bring as a result that we're going to have an acceleration into price discovery for Curve here as well, through which not every Ethereum DeFi is doing worse. Actually, some are starting to wake up, just like Curve. Ivy is also waking up, and if we're looking at other assets, most of them are currently heavily down, which means that those are down more than 70%, and therefore they are interesting to look at a potential position to be built, as even Sushi is down 80% at this point. And we are currently facing a beautiful retest for Sushi. I think the moment that it breaks above this level that we have between $6.25 to $7, that is going to be the actual trigger. And I think if this one breaks at $7.35, actually, if that one breaks, we're going to see a new expansion when it comes to Sushi. So that's the update for today. I hope you have enjoyed this update with the crypto portfolio. I'll be back at a later moment in time. Don't forget to subscribe beneath and like this YouTube update, and I'll see you again soon.